Up first, I'm going to start the show off on somewhat of a depressing note. A 4-year-old accidentally shoots and kills his 2-year-old brother after mistaking a real handgun for a toy gun. A Virginia toddler died Tuesday after his older brother accidentally shot him with a gun, and the boy who shot him thought the real gun was a toy, according to the county sheriff's office. It's not yet clear how the 4-year-old boy had access to the weapon, which he fired Tuesday morning, striking his 2-year-old brother in the chest. Quote unquote, "It's of paramount importance to make sure your guns are secure and out of reach of children and everything," one of the deputies said. At least have them unloaded or safety lock them, whatever you have to do to keep them from discharging accidentally. The children's mother was at home, oddly enough, during the shooting when it occurred.
Suspect.
Oh, yeah. Quote unquote, "It will be thoroughly investigated. Our heart breaks for the family. They're devastated, naturally. So we want to do everything we can do to help them." Neighbor Linda Eddy told a local news station that she's known the family for more than a decade. There's no way they would have left a loaded handgun out, which they kind of did.
They did.
So, sorry, Linda. They're good people, good Christians. And good people that take care of their children. Make sure they have everything that they need. I know this is going to be tragic to them. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, an all too familiar story.
Another incident, man, with... Where was this at again?
Virginia.
So,
state where you can open carry as well.
Yeah, there you go. That's always that was a great idea.
It's interesting. It's you kind of keep everybody else in check.
Yeah.
With the guns. That's the argument. Because a lot of people argue, you know, if the gun laws were different in other states, if you were allowed to openly carry, gun enthusiasts argue that certain shootings, mass shootings, would have not occurred. I beg to differ.
Yeah,
I think they would have. I think once a person has an idea of what they're going to do that day, they're going to stick to it no matter the result. So,
yeah, I don't think the answer to guns is more guns.
I don't think so.
That
either.
Seems to not work.
No.
It seems to be the opposite situation.
Right.
Two wrongs don't make a right. Not that it's wrong, but more violence doesn't help more violence. So
no, I agree.
But yeah, this is a sad story. This is and it's a common, like we said, we talk about these kind of stories all the time.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate when it happens to someone this young, 2 kids that were playing, but it goes back to responsibility. I mean, the kids access these guns, loaded gun, somewhere in the home, and the parents' home.
That's the crazier part.
The mother's home.
The fact, well, it would have been weird if the 4-year-old and the 2-year-old were at home by themselves. I mean, it would have just added more craziness to the story.
Of course.
But even this is sort of crazy as well because, like, yeah, one of the parents, or maybe single parent, was at the house when this happened. I mean, it's kind of like what you couldn't kept an eye on them. If you knew, especially if I had a gun.
Yeah.
And it was loaded in the house, and for some reason I wanted to keep it that way, and I had my children, I would be extra cautious and watching them, be like, you know what, you're not leaving my eyesight because I know in the house there's a loaded gun somewhere.
Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, exactly, especially if that was the case.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids. There'll be times, even at that age, they were 3 and 2, they're only a year apart. There's times they're playing in the house.
Yeah.
You're not around them 24/7.
Yeah, it's impossible.
But like you said, if you know they're going to be out of your sight even for a minute, whatever the case may be, you might want to lock that friggin' gun up, man.
Lock the gun up, or if you remember which room the gun is in, just have
lock that fucking room.
Exactly, just have no access to that room. But I mean, if you can take anything away from these unfortunate events, ladies and gentlemen, you have to learn from them. So if there's anybody out there who happens to have, loaded guns in their household, I mean, learn from this event. Get a safety lock for the gun. Have the bullets and the gun separately. Have them in different locations. Keep the lock key at work, or keep it in a different location.
Yeah, for sure. Kathy says, so glad we have gun laws. Jeanette, they're probably desensitized. Genevieve says, I think that if you're a parent, the regulations should be different.
Right.
Maybe for gun laws.
Yeah.
So maybe that is the case. But I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, man. Like, you have a gun in the home with children. If you have a gun in the home, period, it should be locked away somewhere.
Yeah, and it's great. As I was just kind of going through the comments, one person said, "A safe. If you can afford to buy a gun, you can afford to buy a gun safe." I think, yeah. If you're, I think there should be certain rules too. If you know,
I mean, yeah.
when it comes to the families too, it's like if you purchase a gun, I think you should have to. It's almost like it should be in regulation. You have to buy something for it to be for safekeeping.
Dude, it doesn't even have to be. Yeah, you're right. I agree. Something to go along with the gun.
Yeah.
That keeps it safe.
It needs a lot, or you can't get the gun until you have enough money. You just can't buy a handgun. You need to buy the safe that goes along with it, or you just have to save up until you have enough money.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Get a lockbox. Go to
$20 on Amazon.
Go get a 20. There you go. Right? Like, I mean, that's a no brainer. But you can't make people do it. They need to still put the gun in the thing and lock it away.
Right.
So
this is
you
true.
could give them the box, and they still may not do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's super irresponsible on the parents' part.
For sure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's completely the parents' fault.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
100%.
There's no excuse to not have a safe for like
Absolutely
have
not.
a gun. Like
Absolutely not.
It's unbelievable.
Absolutely not.
I mean, my heart goes out to the family. Unfortunately, I mean, they had to lose a child as a result of this. And I mean, the best thing that anybody or any of us can do is just to learn about this event and, you know, be smarter about it when it comes to handling guns. And I don't know.
It is sad, but it happens all the time. We talk about it all the time. So,
yeah,
you know, they got to get on their gun laws. We already know this, you know.
Yeah.
Be smarter, people.
Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Talking Trends. If you like the show, please subscribe below.